Oh yeah, that's my excited exhale.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to Game That Tune.
Oh yeah, what's going on, everybody? It's Game That Tune back in the house once again. Oh man, we got a great show coming up tonight. It's your boy John Harrington here. We got John Regan, say hey.
Hey.
And we got Jesse Moore, say hey.
Hey.
And we got David Fleming, say hey. Hey. That's pretty good, man. That's a good me. So yeah, man, it's Game That Tune, episode 106. If you're just joining us here on Game That Tune, what we do around here is listen to video game music. We've got 3 songs from a game. We try and guess the game based on the songs and a little bit of trivia, goof off, have a lot of fun, talk a bunch of nonsense about the games that we chose. And the winner at the end of the night picks a theme for the next episode and plays a bonus tune, except last week when we encountered something that, I mean, seriously, had we never encountered a 4-way tie before?
I feel like we have, but we just kind of said, well, let's make this person win instead.
Exactly. We finally came up with a good idea for acknowledging a super rare 4-way tie. And so when it's a 4-way tie, we're going to act as though we've always done this. We're going to do a free play.
Game That Tune. Free play. Hell yeah, motherfucker.
All I'm thinking about right now is George Lucas slamming his dick in a microwave. Free play.
Yes. We've taken it back, old school, classic free play jingle for this classic free play theme. So yeah, no theme tonight. We're just gonna goof off, listen to game music, and try and guess each other's games. So Johnny, let's just jump right into it, man. What do we got for game 1?
Game 1.
Huh.
Interesting.
The intro to
Oh,
this,
it sure is.
the intro to this game was a popular meme on the internet for some time.
Well.
Yeah.
Suddenly that song makes a lot more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know why we're beating around the bush, man. Let's have it.
Yeah, let's just see some answers. Oh, man. David and John both say Bad Dudes, which is correct.
Welcome to
Oops.
Game That
Oh,
Tune.
shit. And Jesse says Zero Wing, which sadly is incorrect. This is Bad Dudes for the NES.
It sure is. Sorry, Jesse. You were not a bad enough dude to
Apparently.
get that correct.
Maybe it's because I do not want to save the president.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
President's been kidnapped by ninjas? Tight. That's cool. That's a market improvement
Fucking
over.
finally.
Yeah, exactly. I've been waiting for these ninjas for when did Bad Dudes come out? 87, like 30 years now. You know, where are these president kidnapping ninjas? Yeah. Man, Bad Dudes. What an unmitigated classic. John, excellent pick. Has anybody ever actually played this game?
I've tried to play
I
it.
have.
Briefly.
Yeah, I own it, and I honestly, I don't even know if I've played it. Like, it's in a box of NES games somewhere in my house. And I don't know if I have a recollection of ever attempting to play Bad Dudes. Like, it's so legendarily bad. You know, I don't know.
I don't know that it's... I didn't find it bad. It's just very, very old and basic.
Okay. Well,
Although,
yeah, I mean,
admittedly, the version that I played, there was like an arcade collection. So I've played like a port of the arcade version, not the NES version. The NES version may be terrible.
that's the distinction. You know, some of these arcade ports to NES were not worthwhile, and Bad Dudes did not need to happen. And yeah, I honestly, I mean, seriously, I don't know if I've played it, but like, I just know that it's choppy and the sprites are flickery and you can't tell what's going on. There's ninjas and there's action and there's nonsense. But I mean, I don't know if this game's playable. So, you know, why don't you guys speak from experience?
If I remember this right, I think this is one of those games where when you jump in the air, you can't control anything. Like, you're just going to go. That's it. You're done now. Which is beyond frustrating in any game like that. You want to control... I know it's physically impossible, but you want to control yourself midair.
Yeah. It's funny the expectations we have in video games. Like, if I jump in one direction, I need to be able to change back.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, that's not how jumping works.
But yeah, our chat's pointing out, and I was actually going to bring this up. This was from the age of when arcade games got ported to everything. This was ported to the Commodore 64, which has a sweet version of the soundtrack. And I kind of wanted to use that, but I figured we'd all probably play the NES one, so I went with that soundtrack.
Yeah, I mean, it's familiar, but I think if you win, make your bonus tune some Commodore 64 Bad Dudes music. It sounds awesome.
And
Um,
it's
oh,
go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say, David seems like he's trying to jump in.
Oh, go ahead, David.
No, I was just gonna like basically go on. It's an old arcade beat 'em up, so it doesn't have a lot of staying power. Like it's from what I remember, it was very basic, but you could jump between like different levels. That was new and novel. And yeah, you're just picking up knives and stabbing ninjas.
If that's what you're looking for, it might be the game for you. I'm assuming it's arcade hard because it's an arcade port, and they didn't bother putting in things like passwords and continues for NES versions. So, I'm assuming it's hard and filled with flickering NES ninjas. And it's got a killer soundtrack though, man. That's that's some good tunes. And I feel we've had a connection to these tunes in the past, John. Why are these tunes so familiar?
I believe this is a good time to plug the show that Jesse started up. Game That Tune. What's the title? Game That Tune Covered Up. I still haven't listened to it. I haven't listened to it just yet. But in your first episode, I believe you covered the Neskimos, and the Neskimos have a very badass cover of this song.
That's where I remember it from.
You're really rubbing it in on Jesse. He didn't get it right, John. Jeez, why you got to bring all this shit up?
He threw me off when he said it was an internet meme. I was thinking all your bass are belong to us for some reason. And I was like, that it doesn't sound like Super Nintendo music, but maybe that's why all your bass are belong to us. Or someone set us up the bomb. We use the NES sound chip for some reason. I don't know.
Take off every zig for great justice.
They down. Man, yeah, they poorly translated it and translated the music back a generation. It's a classic zero wing move.
They're really zeroing that.
Yeah. That should be why has that not been a thing? Like, call when you fuck something up, call it zero winging it. Like, that seems like that should be part of like the Game That Tune canon.
What are you talking about? We've always said zero winging it. I mean, John zero wings it on this show all the time.
Exactly. We were zero winging it when we decided to do a free play after a 4-way tie. That's how this show works.
Good old Johnny Squaresoft.
That's the old zero wing sound. The old all your bass are belong to.
Well done.
I need that.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, Bad Dudes. I think they just released the arcade port of this for the Switch, which is really funny. Like, because it's like $12, and I doubt it's worth that. Like, they have some good arcade games on the Switch. Like, I bought Metal Slug. They got these cool SNK like Neo Geo arcade games, and those are worthwhile. Like, I think they're like $7 or $8, and you get that much value out of them. I don't know if there's $12 worth of value in an arcade perfect port of Bad Dudes for the Switch. Like, that seems like a big stretch.
I feel like I wouldn't have even spent $12 on this at the arcade. You know what I mean? Like, I pop in $1 worth of quarters and probably just say like, "Nah, I'm done."
Yeah, God. Imagine spending $12 worth of quarters on any game in one like playthrough at the arcade. Like,
yes,
fucking way.
I mean, I could maybe understand it if it was like a fighting game and like you're trying to do like a tournament type thing, challenging different people and all that kind of stuff. But like a single player, no.
And at what point in your childhood did you ever have even a whole roll of quarters to take on the arcade? Like, you got $5 worth of tokens tops, and you spent it on Street Fighter 2, and later on you got over to like the Mortal Kombat and Primal Rage machines, and you maybe got into some of you're riding in them games like the Jurassic Park type stuff. But like, would you ever drop more than a quarter into something like Bad Dudes? Was this even in an arcade when we were playing in arcades? Like, I feel like
by the time we were in arcades,
NES for a reason. It's to clear the space out of the arcade. But anyway, I don't know. Bad Dudes is fun relic. Is the guy on the intro? Is that supposed to be like Schwarzenegger or just some generic '80s flat top aviators wearing badass?
I would say
Like-
both. You
Yeah,
know, it's
like play as that guy.
no, he's like your boss.
Yeah.
Asking if you're a bad.
Well,
enough
that's one
dude.
thing that I do like about the arcade version is the home console. It's always, the president has been kidnapped by ninjas, but in the arcade it actually says President Ronnie, and it's very clearly supposed to be Ronald Reagan.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh man, that's
Man.
sweet.
Yeah, that's crazy. We're talking about a game from the Reagan era. I just process how many presidents ago that was. Like, awesome. A game in which someone kidnapped President Ronald Reagan. Like, yeah, that's bad. It's all right. They should update this every time there's a new president. Like they really should. Except then, again, no one would play the newest version. Like, are you a bad enough dude to make America great again? Nah.
We're good.
Not putting a second quarter into this. But anyway, fuck yeah, man. Bad Dudes is great. Johnny, what do you think, man? You wanna keep going on Bad Dudes or move on to the next game? You a bad enough
I'm
dude
gonna
to
move on to the next
talk
game.
Bad Dudes for like 10 more minutes?
I'm a bad enough dude to rescue this show.
Game 2.
All right. So this is our fan request for the evening. This comes to us from frequent requester and Patreon superfan tier producer Dell at Delition_Hikari on Twitter. And let's see, trivia. Electronic Gaming Monthly lauded this game as exceptionally original, with every aspect done well, particularly praising the colorful graphics, the music, the level design, the secret areas, and the character's ability to throw his own limbs. They awarded the game 8 out of 10. So, how you guys feeling on that one?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
I feel pretty good.
Good.
Yeah.
There's only so many games that trivia could be hinting at. So let's see how you're feeling on that obscure Dell knowledge. So John Regan says Incredible Crash Test Dummies, which is a great guess. Rayman from David Fleming, which is incorrect. And Jesse says Plock, which is correct. I honestly don't know if it's Plock or Ploak or what, but yeah, PLOK exclamation point for the SNES. And man, what a game. Jesse, did you ever play Plock, Ploak, whatever?
No, I haven't. I know Dell tweets about it like every other day, so
Dell's got himself a pattern.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Plock and I realized it was Dell, I thought, damn,
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
There it is. Killer soundtrack though. Jesse, do you know the composer of this game?
is it Matt Furnace?
No, it's
No.
actually the famous brothers of Game That Tune. It's Tim and Jeff Fallon.
Oh shit, it is. That's right. Fuck.
Yeah, dude, killer soundtrack.
Yeah.
This game's fucking weird. So I'm guessing then I didn't bother asking John and David. Neither of you guys have played this, right?
I have not.
I've not played it, but I'm vaguely aware of it.
Yeah, it's strange. I'm not clear on what the main character is. He appears to be like a raincoat with floaty limbs, kind of like Rayman. And he attacks by throwing his limbs like in order, like you throw hand, leg to attack enemies, and you can get power-ups and stuff. There's like a football helmet which lets you just like run right through guys. There's like a shotgun and a rocket launcher and some other crazy crap. And there's like puzzles that you can solve. Like you have to hit switches using particular limbs, which is a funny mechanic. And like as you lose the limbs, it affects your ability to like move. So like if you throw your like both your feet at something, then like you're just kind of fucked. Like it's a very strange game. I only played it very briefly because when I got into it, it's very bright, very colorful. It's reminiscent of like a treasure game for for the Genesis, but it's one of those things where it's almost so like out there and nonsensical that I had a hard time like figuring out what to do because I can't tell like what's going to attack. I can't tell what I can walk on, what I'll fall through, what the mechanics of this fucking game are. Like it's it's relentlessly strange. I don't know. Like
It
yeah.
looks kind of kooky. I'm watching some video of it.
Yeah, it's
And,
it's a little trippy. It's really something. Like it's
Instead of a flag, he raised up some boxer shorts.
yes,
on
he
level.
like
That's pretty
it's
cool.
something weird and meta where he's going off in search of his flag, and like you get to the end of the level and like he's like, "This isn't my flag." Foiled again. So you got to go to the next level, and I don't know. It's weird, which is kind of to be expected from the developers of the game. It's Steve and John Pickford of Software Creations. They also worked on Equinox and other strange SNES games of the time. And apparently this game was like their fucking baby. Like they were working on it, I guess at the like back in the day they worked for Rare and they like couldn't crack this game. And so then when they were working for Software Creations, they just kind of still had it on the back burner and they showed it to somebody and they're like, yeah, we want to do it. And like they showed it to Miyamoto, Shiggy, if you will. And he almost wanted Nintendo to publish it, and then he kind of backed off. Rumor has it because it they think this is like Steve Pickford saying this, like he thinks that the game was too similar to Yoshi's Island. They were working on it at the time, and they didn't want to publish Yoshi's Island and then something awesome and competitive for Yoshi's Island. I'm like, okay, yeah, you think very highly of yourself, don't you, Steve Pickford, with your fucking obscure SNES game with a nonsense title. Come on, man. You're fun, but you're not Yoshi's Island fun, bro. Like,
I was just gonna say, it's like, yeah, that's totally, absolutely the reason why. Because Nintendo would never publish multiple cute, colorful 2D platformers on the same system. Like Kirby, Yoshi's Island, Donkey Kong Country, none of those would be on the same system all at once.
Yeah, never. And Yoshi so famously throws his own limbs that they couldn't possibly publish this at the same time. And it's it's fucking weird, but I really don't know what to make of it. It's got a killer soundtrack. It's a weird platformer. It's set in some kind of nonsense world where like you go off in search of your flag, and then like you come back and fleas have overtaken your island. So I don't know if the character is really small or what. The game's just nonsense. It's fun. It's it's really interesting platforming and stuff, but it's it was a little tough to wrap my mind around. So yeah. And it has the very strange line of dialogue. Like at one point you hoist the flag and Plock, whatever his name is, definitely says, "I've been diddled again."
I just got to that part in this video.
Yeah. I don't know if the Pickfords know the what connotation the word diddled has in any circle. It's a very strange inclusion in the game. This isn't my flag. I've been diddled again. Like, that's not a translation error. This is you guys' pet project. This game wasn't Japanese. This was always in English. Like, you chose the word diddled. Why'd you put that in there? Like, buy a fucking thesaurus, guys. This is, you don't throw the word diddled in there. Like, I don't know. But yeah, so that is almost all I can say about this game. Weird game. Obscure character. The Pickfords still own the rights to this character. That's the thing. They self-published this game once Nintendo passed on it, and they still own the rights to the character. So like, I guess they made a webcomic of it, like in the last 10 years or so, which I don't think took off because there was no demand for it. And he's made like random cameos in like a couple of games since, but like, this is one of those weird ones from the mid-90s where it's it's so much better than Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island, and it got no respect, man. Shiggy just buried this thing. Like,
John Cena did it.
It's that It's that Nintendo Minati conspiracy.
Yeah, dude. The Pickfords are, they're flat Nintendo Earthers, and they really got some ideas about why Shiggy didn't want to publish Plock. But yeah, it's a strange game, but it's got a Fallen Brothers soundtrack, so it's gonna stay in people's minds and hearts. It's very interesting. So thank you, Dell, as always, for the obscure request with the fantastic soundtrack. And Johnny, what do you think, man? You want to keep going?
Yeah, sure.
Game
All right,
3.
good.
So the trivia for this game, the main character of this game makes a cameo appearance as a collectible sticker in Kirby Planet Robobot.
All right.
Who's finished Googling?
Oh, please. I'm just disappointed I don't have a better set of markers to make this awesome drawing work.
So, yeah, this is a game.
Yeah, it sure is.
Damn it, John. So John Regan has a drawing of what appears to be a round boy, which is, I don't know how you could have messed that up. Jesse Moore says box boy, and John Harrington says box boy with a drawing of a cardboard box with a lucky red hat. My son is a box.
A box.
Yes, John and Jesse are correct. This is Box Boy.
I can't believe they managed to make a game out of that one scene from that one episode of The Simpsons. It's such a hilarious misunderstanding. You know, the box.
They made 3. There is a Box Boy trilogy.
Yeah, there is shit. Yeah, I was just thinking of the first one. It would be great if there was an unlockable lucky red hat for Box Boy.
Well, there are unlockable costumes, and I'm pretty sure you can get like a backwards baseball cap. It's not red though, because the entire game is monochrome. But yeah, you can get the backwards hat.
That's cool. I mean, yeah, I just got to go off of The Simpsons for a while because I mean, seriously, Homer's exclamations in that scene are just some of my favorite in the entire series. Just a box! Oh God, my boy's a box! Anyway, yeah. So Box Boy is adorable, and he's a box. And does he have eyes and legs, maybe, or is he just a box?
He's a box with 2 eyes and 2 stubby little legs.
Yeah, okay, cool. I was trying to remember if he, just by being a box or if there was an explanation.
Is this like a weird side prequel to Metal Gear Solid?
Oh, that would be a great
but that would be amazing. This game does have a very weird, bizarre story that people are trying to figure out and deduce. So possibly it is a prequel to Metal Gear Solid.
God, if Hideo Kojima had anything to do with Box Boy, it would be so fucking dope.
Has anyone but me played Box Boy?
I have not.
I played it briefly. Yeah, John, did you have a 3DS? Did you play Box Boy?
Yeah, you're all up in that.
Yes, I did. And there's a lot of boxes.
So convinced. Yeah. I think I played a demo of it. Like, did they have like a downloadable thing where you could play a couple of levels from each of the games? Like,
I think so. I think once they released the second one, they had like a demo for the first or for the first and second combined or something along those lines.
yeah, no, I played a couple of levels of it, and it was pretty cool. You know,
Yeah, it's a very charming little puzzle game. Your main character is a box who is also a boy who goes by the name of QB because he's a box.
Now, there's my first issue. It's a 2D game. He's a box. He can't be a cube. Fuck this game. Johnny, we're moving on.
No, hey,
Four.
this box boy can grow up to be anything he wants. If he wants to be a cube, fine. If he wants to be a doctor, fine. If he wants to be an ice dancer, fine. Let him. Who are you to stand in the way of his dreams?
Game 4.
It came out of nowhere.
But no, because your main character, his whole gimmick is the ability to generate more boxes. So it's a puzzle game where you have to like get through a stage, pushing buttons, avoiding traps and whatnot, and your whole ability is making all of these extra boxes. So you can make them in various shapes. You can build bridges, you can build step stools, and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, that was the the fun of the puzzle solving when I was when I was playing the game. It's like you got to climb up a little higher platform. You got to just extend your boxes up there, and then he like contracts. I picture him kind of being like a caterpillar or something. It's tough to kind of explain it, but
it's hard to explain in words, but it's very easy to like show and play. Like, oh, I instantly get this. But one of my favorite parts was the whole presentation because it's very, very minimalist. It's very monochrome. It looks like it could have been on the Game Boy, and that kind of goes to the music too. Like the music is very this atmospheric, minimalist techno music, and it's just a really interesting soundtrack.
Yeah. So is it made by HAL Laboratory or?
It's made by HAL. So,
right. Cool.
QB pops up as a sticker in Robobot, and apparently in the new Kirby game, one of the stone transformations, you can transform into QB. And the last game, I think it was Bye Bye Box Boy.
Yes.
You can use the Kirby amiibo to give him Kirby costumes, so he'll look like Kirby or Waddle Dee or Meta Knight. It's pretty adorable.
Yeah. So, have you played all 3 Box Boys?
I've played the first 2. I've only played a little bit of the third one.
Okay, I don't want many spoilers, but does he die? Like it's called Bye Bye Box Boy.
It's really unclear because in the first game there's this kind of weird bubbling black mass that you're trying to like fight against, and QB kind of sacrifices himself to save the planet. And then in the second game, like QB meets QB in the past, and then in the third game, like he does kind of die, but then at the end you see his eyes open, so maybe he didn't. Like, and I remember looking after the second game, was like, wait, is this a time loop? What the hell is happening? Like going online, and all the fans of Box Boy are like on communities and forums trying to figure this out because there's no dialogue whatsoever. They're like, what the hell am I even playing?
Oh yeah, what's that one game that loops in on itself? It was like free on PlayStation. Limbo. Is it like Limbo? You complete the game and Box Boy's just back in the beginning. Spoilers for Limbo. Oh God, I like an existential nightmare encapsulated in a game about an adorable box.
But I mean, it's HAL. Kirby does this all the time too.
Oh yeah, Kirby. They're all about fucking existential horrors.
I was really hoping because they made a physical release of all 3 games in Japan that came with a QB amiibo, but they never released it in America. And I was really hoping it because I want that amiibo because it's adorable. And I've thought about importing it, but it's like $60. So
you can just like go to U-Haul and buy a box.
Yes.
Yeah, but then it won't be on the stand.
Yeah. I was gonna say, David, you could just like take a dice, paint it, draw a couple of lines on it, and just call it a Box Boy amiibo. Like, what it. I love Nintendo's willingness to make very odd amiibos, but like, what could that possibly do? Like, and how could you possibly cross it over? Like, ooh, and the new Kirby, for Switch, it turns all the characters into boxes. Like, well, no, we don't want that. Like,
I would love it if it had that exact functionality in every game from now on. Animal Crossing, everything's a box. Mario, everything's a box. It's basically like convert Nintendo into Minecraft.
That would actually play well with a lot of crowds. Actually, that damn David, that's a genius fucking idea. So yeah, we need to box up the Nintendo's like family of games, with more Box Boy. So, is this coming back? Are they, is there a Switch collection or something like this? Seems like it flew so under the radar, but also like I feel like everybody kind of knows about it. Like in Nintendo circles, like I don't know. It feels like it came and went too quickly.
It seems like there's two kinds of people who played it and loved it, and people who never played it and think, oh yeah, that thing.
Right, Box Boy. I should have played that. That sounded really fun. Yeah. When HAL Laboratory makes a game, you should pay attention, people. Like, even if it seems really silly and it's a box, it's probably really fucking fun. So, yeah, it's cool. I need to bust out my 3DS again. I might actually have downloaded the whole thing. Like, I can't even remember, but it's a cool game, and just adorable. I don't know how I keep describing this box as adorable. It's a box with eyes. Why do I find the box
so cute?
It's absurd.
It's weird. I mean, the amount of personality that they give on the box, because like I said, there are costumes, and one of them is like DJ or rapper, and it just adds like a set of headphones on it. And if you stand there, that changes the idle animation to all of a sudden it just starts like bobbing down to music. There's like a superhero who gets a little cape, and the idle animation, like he kind of flicks his cape back.
Okay.
I'm into it. Like I said, it's adorable, but it's still a box.
Yeah. You can put anything on a box and have it be pretty fucking cute. I mean, all I'm thinking of is a box with two little speck eyes. I'm like, that's such a cute little box. Yeah, I'm a sucker. So, yeah, cool game, cool pick. Anything else on Box Boy? John, you got the chat under control or what, Huss?
Yes, I do now.
Okay, good. I've been trying to have a nice discussion of Box Boy, and I just see like Indonesian fucking apocalypse going on in the chat, and I just don't know what the fuck is happening on tonight's show.
Episode title: Indonesian apocalypse.
This is the experience of the story of Box Boy.
Fuck yeah, man! So we're live coast to coast in all the coasts of Indonesia. With rock and roll Elvis Presley and Box Boy
and McDonald.
God damn it. This is going to make no sense if we don't start archiving these chats. So, anyway.
Coming to a Discord near you.
Box Boy's dope. Boxes are adorable. And, David, is that it? Are we moving on?
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Game 4.
Pressing A and B 55 times while on the ship will unlock a hidden sliding puzzle game. All right, guys, how you feeling?
Not good,
Yeah.
but I have a guess.
Oh, okay. Looks like David's locked in, and both Johns are writing their answers, scrambling. The time ticks down. Let's see, we got Johnny with Mario 64. Nope. John with Battleship. Nope. David with Final Fantasy. You are correct, sir.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah. So, any of you guys played the original Final Fantasy?
I have not.
It's been about 30 years.
I have not, no.
Oh, okay. But yeah, this was the obviously the first Final Fantasy, and yeah, this game is great.
Yeah.
I remember getting it. I was like, I'd say 8 or 9 or something, and my uncle, he just bought it at like a garage sale or something. Had no manual or anything. It was just, here's this game, kid. And so I put it in, and I was like, this is the most different game I have ever played, because I've just played, Mario games and like Donkey Kong and Tecmo Super Bowl and pinball. I had never played a turn-based RPG like that. Like, it blew my mind. I was like, so we're taking turns fighting these monsters and stuff? That's weird, but cool. And the music...
Let them hit me.
yeah, why not? my character just like takes a step forward and waves his sword around, and then the monster gets damaged. This is weird. The music is good.
I think the original Final Fantasy definitely taught me the word slain.
Yeah, everything was slain, and I was like, okay, that means dead.
Down at my neighbor's house, they had this, and it was, like I was probably 7, and the guy that was playing it was like 13, and I'm just like, man, this is like kind of blowing my mind right now. I never played RPGs when I was a kid, and so then like he's playing it, and like one of his characters dies, and it just says slain. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, oh, this game's crazy. And then like I went and got a dictionary. I'm like, okay. I was dead, slain. I'm learning things here.
Thank you, Final Fantasy tangential learning.
Yeah, exactly. Just got me to read the dictionary more. So, thank you, Final Fantasy. You're great.
The more I think about it,
that's about the extent of my experiences with it.
the more I think about it, Slain is a pretty badass name for a baby. I just want to drop that idea out there.
I got a baby coming in like 3 weeks, and if you think Slain isn't on the list, like at least from
it's like number 3 at least.
Yeah, it's up there. Yeah. I'm making video game reference baby name lists, and Star Fox Slain Harrington is towards the top of the list. So, just
that sounds amazing.
Be prepared. Sounds like a bad. The word Slain sounds like a bad villain. Yeah,
that sounds very much like the name of a baby from an 80s movie. Like, he is going to grow up into a jock who's going to push some kid into a locker.
Yeah, it's like fucking probably a bad guy in Karate Kid or something. It's like, leave him alone, Slain. Like,
God, that just makes it better.
Totally
fit. The stage is getting greater and greater.
So anyway, not
Final
to turn
Fantasy.
Slain that tune, but
Oh man, Halloween show.
Oh man.
Ooh, yeah.
Next theme, games with Slain. What does that even mean?
People that can get killed.
Or if the word Slain appears, you can use the game. Perfect. But yeah, anyway, Jesse. Yeah, so Final Fantasy, the original. Tell us about it.
I mean, it was very like pretty linear as far as what to do. It was pretty good about telling you where to go, but I could see like you getting lost. I mean, I was lucky because Nintendo Power had these really cool strategy guides, and they had the Final Fantasy one that really helped out a whole lot.
Jet produced the Nintendo Power strategy guide for Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Wow, that was unexpected.
Yeah, I love this game. I actually got it signed by where'd it go? Freaking cat. Oh, here it is. By Brian Clevenger, the guy who does 8-Bit Theater.
Oh, that's amazing.
So he looked at me, he's like, "Why do you want me to sign this?" Like, I was like, "Oh, I think it's obvious."
Yeah, come on, bro. Slain.
Yeah, Slain. But it was cool. Like, I remember, like, it blew my little kid mind because, like, you go to this first cave and you fight what you think is like the boss. Because, like, I don't know how long RPGs are supposed to be. I'm like, well, I'm already because like I was supposed to go save the princess, and I went to this cave and there's a princess and this guy, and we fight him and beat him. And then we go and bring the princess back. And they're like, hey, since you saved the princess, we're going to build a bridge to this whole other continent for you. And then you cross the bridge, and this cool little thing pops up on the screen. It says Final Fantasy. And so the quest begins. And it's really like you're like, oh, wow, this is cool. And then you start meeting, like, really tough enemies, and, like, giants start killing you and stuff. And they had the jobs at first. You had your fighter, you had your black mage, and your white mages, and your thieves and stuff like that. And you get to customize your party, and you get to name your characters. I think it was a 4-letter limit for the character names. So,
yeah, that fosters creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you wanted to have David in there, you'd have to be like DAVD or something,
That's
and
cool.
They had some spells like in the NES version that didn't actually work.
Really?
Like, yeah, like there's this one spell called Saber, and it's supposed to increase like your attack, but for some reason in the NES version it doesn't work. So basically you just buy this useless spell that would fill up your spell book, and you can't like delete spells. So if you buy that spell, you're fucked for that level of spells.
That's awesome. I love just like programming oversight that leads to weird things like that. Because wasn't the original Final Fantasy like? Is it just like an urban legend that this was going to be like the last game developed by Square before they like folded up, and that's why they called it Final Fantasy, and then it turned out to be a hit?
That's what everyone says. I feel like that's what I've come across every time I read stuff about this game.
Right.
It was actually going to be called Fighting Fantasy, but there was a series of like board games and RPG books called Fighting Fantasy, and they're like, we better not get into any kind of weird lawsuits or anything.
Yeah, they probably would have then been, people would have been disappointed that it wasn't actually a fighting game at that point. Like, no, we said it was a fighting fantasy. You have to fight the guys with windows. There's no real fighting in the game. Like, you misunderstood us. I'm sorry. And
you mean like battle menus? For a second, I thought you meant like actual physical windows.
Or like Windows 98.
Yeah, you got to break glass over them. You got to, hit them with pain. The old Slain Pain.
Pain.
But yeah.
Sounds right. This name just gets better and better every time.
Yeah.
I think my kid's name isn't Slain Pain Harrington. Yeah. You don't know me very well, do you? Oh, Jesus. It works for boys and girls.
I feel that this game is hard. I mean, like, brutally difficult.
Yeah, it can. It's very, very grindy. Like, if you want to not die, you do have to grind a little bit. Also, you have to pay attention to like what your characters are good at doing, because the first time I beat this game, I made a very bad mistake, and so your thief can evolve into a Grand Master, which is a martial artist, right? And so I had him equipped with this like magic hammer that you could use it and cast lightning on everybody. But like when he just used it to attack, his damage was always such garbage. And like, so I was like, I'm just going to keep leveling him up and maybe he'll be good. And then it hit me one day. I was like, he's a Grand Master. He's a martial artist. So I unequipped the weapon from him. So he was just using his bare fists, and he was just lighting fools up. And
Nice.
So like I got to the final boss, and like he hit him like 3 times and beat him. And I was like, well, that was underwhelming. Because I just grinded so much. And then finally, when I realized what Grandmasters are supposed to do, he was just a fucking nightmare. It was great.
You handed Ip Man a fucking like, baseball bat. It's like, get good with that thing. It's like, no, man, I got my own style. I can fucking do this. It's like, nah, trust me. Just keep using the baseball bat. It'll be fine.
You really Karate Kidded that guy, is what it sounds like. You made him
Say
do
again?
something. You really Karate Kidded that guy. You must really shit. What's the name of the guy from Karate Kid? Mr. Miyagi. That guy.
Machio?
Or you really
Daniel's son?
The guy from the Karate Kid? Like, you could be referring to so many guys.
Mr. Miyagi. You really Mr. Miyagi that guy. You gave him tasks that made no sense, and in the end, it made him a better fighter.
That's
Isn't
true.
isn't that essentially all RPGs? Like, go here, get this, come back. Here's some gold, here's some experience, get better, eventually win. Isn't it all just, pointless until you get to the final fight? Really? No, it's not. It's, it's a fun game, but yeah. So Final Fantasy is nothing like Karate Kid, but I appreciate the attempt there, John. It does have karate guys in it, though. So half point. But yeah, man, is it really episode 106 and we've used Final Fantasy for the first time?
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, crap, I better do this.
I love it. The beauty of it is that we've used like 10 Final Fantasy games, so it's like, oh man, we did Final Fantasy, but we use like all the other Final Fantasies, and they're all very good. They have very good soundtracks. They all surpassed this one in terms of soundtrack. So, yeah, still good. Nice to revisit the classic. I don't know. Like, do you think people need to go back and play this one though? Like, is it essential?
I wouldn't say essential. There's a pretty good, remake you can play, like on the
Like DS or something?
yeah, like you can play one of the remakes just a little bit, just to get a taste of what it was like, but you don't need to like beat it or anything. You watch like a long play or something.
Word. Cool. Well, yeah. Anything else, man? Before we move on to the fifth game.
I think that's it.
Hell yeah, man! This episode's almost slain.
Game 5.
So this game was the first ever winner of the People's Choice Award for Best Video Game, and it was the 4th best-selling game for its system. So, how are you guys feeling about that?
I'm
Terrible.
feeling great.
Pretty good.
Good. Pretty good, John. Pretty good. So, what do we have? Jesse says Wonderful 101. Sadly incorrect. David and John both say Super Smash Brothers for Wii U, which is correct. Yeah.
God, what was that last song?
Man.
It's gonna drive me nuts until I figure that out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, and they figured it out. What song was that?
Oh, God, it's so familiar. Oh,
Is it Elect Man?
No, David. He has his hand up.
Shadow Man, right?
Yeah, Mega Man 3.
Oh, yeah.
You know, featured on the crazy ass Mega Man stage in Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. You know, that stage is busy and like several of the stages, kind of unplayable.
The stage is so cool until the Yellow Devil shows up. Then
Yeah.
it goes right to shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I don't want to say unplayable, but like they're a little bit too busy. Some of the stages in this game, like, you know, okay, cool. You got like moving platforms in front of a classic old school Wily Castle. That's fucking dope. You're playing a Smash Brothers game as Mega Man. Oh, you just pulled off Mega Man's sick ass Final Smash with like all the different Mega Mans in it. This is the greatest game ever. Then the Yellow Devil drops into the level and just takes up like half the stage. It's like, now hold on, get out of the way. Like,
Well, the thing that kills me is, the Yellow Devil shows up and you have to fight him and all that. It's like, oh, what a great reference. That's amazing. You beat the Yellow Devil, and then 2 minutes later, he pops in again. Like, no, you should be done for like an hour at least.
Or pop in one of those crazy Wily machines. Like, don't keep having the Yellow Devil show up. Like, have Wily's spaceship, beam in. Or have, one of those big, bizarre, like, Gutsman robots that, like, spit the bouncing balls show up. Like, you really could have Mega Man this out. The Yellow Devil, props to the Yellow Devil, but come on. It's not the reference we all wanted. But anyway.
How great would it be if, like, Yellow Devil was one boss, Wily Saucer coming, like, dropping bombs was another, and then the fucking dragon comes in from, like, the other side to breathe fire?
Oh, dude. Yeah, if the Mega Man 2 dragon just flew in and just, like, hovered off stage breathing fire towards you, that would be the greatest moment of my Smash Brothers playing life. Like, that would just be so fucking sick. But yeah, it's like I said, a little bit too busy. I'm trying to think of the other ones for the Wii U that are just fucking crazy. The Metroid level where Ridley shows up. That was bizarre and broken. Like, oh look, it's a giant screen-filling Ridley taking up the whole stage and like whooping your ass. So like, if you want to play with your friends, don't play that stage because Ridley's going to show up and you're going to have to pay attention to that. But then if you kill Ridley joins your team and damages everyone else. So, there's some strange little mechanics in there. But in general, I fucking love Super Smash Brothers for Wii U. It's a pretty great package, man. There's a lot of fun to be had playing that game. Johnny, you still got a Wii U, right? You played the shit out of this.
I have 4, just like my 4 Sega Saturns.
Exactly. I guess the Wii U, outlived the Saturn in terms of staying power, but like, it's right up there.
Somewhere there is a confused podcast listener that just assumes John Regan is the richest man in the country.
Yeah, and spends his money superfluously. Why does he have any Sega Saturns? That's not a good idea.
One is fine. 2, maybe if you need to get a replacement, for the first one that breaks. But 4, no.
Yeah, is John
now you're just showing off.
Is John a Super Smash Brothers Wii U tournament organizer? Is that why he owns 4 Wii U's? No. No one would own 4 Wii U's unless they had to replace the controller, the Wii U gamepad, and just had to buy a whole new system to go with it. But
that's what happened.
Yeah.
I really just wanted to play 4-player Smash, and I didn't understand how to buy more controllers, and so I bought more consoles.
And then you bought 4 extra Wii U's, and you tried to use all the gamepads at once, and it didn't work. Because how many years later is it now from the Wii U being launched where Nintendo said, we're definitely going to support 2 gamepads. It's priority 1, getting the Wii U to support 2 gamepads, and they abandoned it and moved on to the Switch. No, I'm not bitter. Not at all. I didn't pump a bunch of money into my Wii U. Come on. God damn it. So, David, I know that you've got the hot take as it relates to Smash Brothers 3DS versus Wii U. How do you feel about Super Smash Brothers for Wii U?
I enjoy the hell out of it.
But
shall I elaborate or?
That's why I asked.
Okay. No, the game is fucking great. It's console Smash Brothers. The stages are really insane. I'm trying to think back of what my favorite stages in that game were. Obviously, the Mario Galaxy stage was great with the weird like circular gravity. I also really like the Donkey Kong Country Return stage where you could hop back and forth between the background and the foreground.
Yeah, that was cool. Trying to think, man, I played so much of it online in just like Final Destination style that it's almost like I've forgotten what the actual stages were. Like, that's my whole problem.
I was gonna say I did really like that. Like as boring as Final Destination is, I did like that they had the option to not have the same stage, that you could have the different backgrounds and music. So I thought that was cool. I kind of wish they did it with like the Battlefield layout, but
that would have been a good idea too. Yeah, I think my favorite stage in the game was Woohoo Island.
Oh God, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, you get to fly around Woohoo Island, which I think is still a criminally underrated part of Nintendo's canon. I love that fucking place. It's just
I wish they would bring it back too.
Exactly, man. Just set something there. Like, that new Mario sports game's coming out at some point, right? Just put them on Woohoo Island. Just make it part of Mario. Who gives a fuck? You already had it in Mario Kart. Just, bring it back. And, I wanted to like things like the boxing ring, but, it just didn't quite do it for me.
I like that stage. It just seemed oddly like too large.
Yeah. Like it almost made more sense as like a Final Destination style stage. If you had a boxing ring with springy walls, like you could jump off the ropes. Okay, that's one thing. But then to have like the giant runways on either side and have it just be like this endless stage, it was kind of odd. And then to have the light fixture up top, And it was a fine stage, but it didn't really like blow my hair back. And then there were just some of those stages that were just too fucking huge. Like, I know they wanted us to play 8-player Smash, but like, what were they thinking on that Palutena's Temple and like Great Cave Offensive stage? Like, that shit was crazy. You can't own it.
I remember playing Palutena's Temple once because it's like, oh, I love Kid Icarus. This stage is going to be amazing, and taking so long just to get to the other players. Like, all right, I'm never going to pick this stage again, which pissed me off because I love that stage.
Right. Same thing. It's like the Great Cave Offensive stage is a really nice representation of all the craziness of the Great Cave Offensive, but it's so fucking huge you can't tell what's going on. Like, we busted this out a couple of weeks ago, me and the gang, and it's like, we got like 5 guys. Let's play the Great Cave Offensive, and then I'm just like, I got it on a projector on the wall, and I'm sitting there like, where the fuck are we? Like, okay, no, fuck this. We're going to Battlefield. Like, we're playing a stage you can actually play on. This is nonsense. But the game, it's it's really good. It would be my favorite Smash Brothers if not for the fact that it came out at the wrong time in my life. Like, all the other Smash Brothers came out pre like college and marriage and all that stuff. This one came out like, a couple years after I got married, after you guys had all moved to different places, I had moved somewhere else, and it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna buy Smash Brothers. It's gonna be the shit. I love this game. And it's like, wait, love my wife, but she doesn't want to play Smash Brothers with me. Like, oh crap. Good thing this game has extensive single player modes, because man, I don't, the online's not great. Nobody else owns a Wii U, and shit, I don't have anybody to play this with. Like, the Tallahassee Smash scene, those guys think they're MLG or some shit. Like, I tried to get with some of those guys, and it's like, oh no, I don't like playing games the way you guys like playing games. You guys are really into the whole shit talking and like broing out over Smash Brothers. I just kind of want to like play and like high five. If I get angry, I might kick you in the shins and walk home. But like, taunting each other, come on, like that's rude.
I mean, the single most important question is, do they use items?
Obviously not.
Fuck that.
Disgusting.
Yeah, no, the Tallahassee Smash League is, they, like I said, they fancy themselves MLG. It was tough to find a casual meetup. I don't know why it is so tough as an adult, to just go online and be like, hey, I'm looking for somebody to, I'm looking for a stranger to play video games with. If you want to come into my home, I don't know why.
Just Google adult casual meetup. I'm sure you'll get a lot of.
32 looking for fun adult playtime. Come on.
No, see, you're sitting here, guys, that's the wrong way to do it. You got to specify. You say 32 male looking for casual meetup, want to smash.
Yeah, will smash. Oh shit. But yeah, no, the game, the Wii U version versus the 3DS has a lot of the extra like single player modes, which I really enjoyed. It had the event matches and the like the master orders or whatever, where you could do the weird fucking
I forgot about those. Those were awesome.
Yeah, I don't remember any of them, but I played them. And
well, it's kind of like a weird survival mode, because you could choose like different matches, like randomized matches, and you just kept going to get better coins and drops and stuff.
The more you completed, the better your items got, but you kind of had to know when to tap out, because like you would receive more damage, or like your damage would carry over, and like the next one would just be this insanely hard thing. And it's like, oh great, that was all for nothing. But
which would always piss me off, especially like if you got to the 4th one and something happened, like a stage hazard came and just knocked out 60%. Like, well, so much for this run.
Speaking of the fucking yellow devil, jeez. But yeah, and then I know, David, you prefer Smash Run for 3DS, but I actually really enjoy Smash Tour. I thought it was really fun, and it's when you can actually get some people together and play it, it's a good way to kind of rebalance things and just have some fun for people that don't necessarily play Smash Brothers as much. Looking at John Regan. you get all those crazy stat boosts. Some people end up with like 10 characters to somebody else's 3. Just a bunch of crazy wacky crap happens, and then inevitably it comes down to me and David, and one of us wins, and Johnny goes and gets us both a beer. I think that's how every time we've played this in person it's gone. Like, let's play around Smash Tour. All right, cool. Johnny's got a chance, and we knocked out all his characters. Thanks, John. That was fun. That was good.
I do really hope that the one thing from Smash Tour where you have like your 4 or 5 stock, whatever, and every life is a different character. I hope that comes back as its own separate mode, because that was awesome.
Yeah. Especially if it's like, if it's a special mode and you can set like special parameters, kind of like Special Smash, where it's like, giant metal flower smash. It's like, giant metal flower smash, and you can pick 4 characters and it's an elimination match. Like, that's a really fun idea. Like, that's nothing but Smash nonsense, and I'm into it. So, that's a really good idea, David. They should look into that for Smash Switch, which apparently will come out this year. One hopes.
Allegedly.
So yeah, now that we're 4 years out from Smash Brothers for Wii U, what's everybody's favorite characters? Starting with you, Johnny. Favorite Smash Brothers characters in Smash Brothers Wii U?
Meta Knight.
He did it. He succeeded. Well done, John. Jesse, what about you, man?
Kirby and sometimes Charizard.
Yeah. Oh man, I love Charizard. I love the changes they made to him. Like, I love that the games got rid of the whole transforming thing. It's like Zelda and Sheik are different characters now. The Pokemon trainer's gone, and you just have Charizard. And the game works better for it. And Zero Suit Samus is its own thing. Like, awesome. David, what about you?
Rosalina and Luma and Ryu.
Not surprising. What's surprising for me when I got this game and realized how much I love playing as Pac-Man. Like, why is Pac-Man so much fun to play as?
He is cool.
Well, I remember getting this. It's like, what? Wii Fit Trainer's in this game? That's the most ridiculous thing. Oh, shit. She's fun.
Yeah. Wii Fit Trainer's my second. It's Pac-Man and Wii Fit Trainer. They're fucking dope. Like, I love, the Wii Fit Trainer. You can charge a fireball and it recovers your life if you shoot it off fully charged. You can just fuck with people so hard with that, especially in like playing online for like 4 glory matches. Like, if you start recovering your life and they just think you're like doing nothing, it's like, hey, wait a minute. Like, why is he just, if I'm over here taunting him and doing the sack tap move, why is he just charging up fireballs and shooting them off the stage? Oh, wait, he has no damage left. Huh. This is a bizarre occurrence. But yeah, so Pac-Man and fucking Wii Fit Trainer were dope. And then they added all the DLC characters and all kinds of fucking zaniness. And it just makes me wonder, I really don't want the next Smash to be a port of this one. It'd be okay if it were, but I really want it to be something new. But it's like there were 58 fucking characters in this game. Like, how many more things can you really pull out of the hat? Like,
see, that's why what I think is going to happen is it's not going to be like a straight port, but it's going to be essentially a port. Like, I'm not expecting them to add a bunch of new characters because they pretty much have all the characters they're ever going to need. Yeah. Maybe like a couple more added in. And I think that it's going to be like the characters are set and locked. So I think it's going to be mainly focused on new modes and like a new single player and new stages. So most of the dev time, like most of the groundwork is finished. It's just polishing up the stuff in Smash Wii U that didn't quite work so well.
Right. It's a good idea. I don't know. I just don't want it to come out and be like, Smash 4 Switch. Like, that'll really kind of knock the wind out of my sails. I hope they at least, like you said, just take the framework and add to it. Like, don't make it just like a port where you've got all the 3DS stages and all the Wii U stuff. Like, do some new stuff, new modes, a few new characters, maybe get rid of some of these fucking Fire Emblem characters, just a few, like, like 9 or 10 of them now. Like, come on, scrap some of those. You gave them Fire Emblem Warriors, get them out of my Smash.
They could at least make them different weapon-wielding Fire Emblem characters to make them play different. But they're all sword users. Like, come on. Give us one of those, like, horse rider person. There's like the dudes with the javelins with the big armor and stuff.
Yeah. Anything. I mean, Corrin was a nice mix-up because, he's dragon and sword type.
All the dragon.
And Robin was okay because it's magic spell. Right. But my God, did we need, Roy, Ike, fucking, Marth, and Lucina, who's just girl Marth? Like, no, we did not. So, I'm not a crackpot, but eliminate this, 3 of these Fire Emblem characters. Just say it. I was reading up on trivia, trying to, decide if I wanted to go tricky on this or like obscure the game at all. And I was looking at it, and this was this is the first time in this series, a series of 4 games, in which they didn't introduce a new Zelda character. I'm like, you're right. Where the fuck's my new Zelda? Like, you had a Girahim assist trophy, but like, I guess I don't know if it would have aged well if it's like, here's your new Skyward Sword character, and everybody's like, no thanks. Like,
see, that's the weird thing about, like, every time somebody talks about adding a Zelda character, it's like they have everybody. Like, all the other famous Zelda characters are kind of like one game appearances, like Girahim or Midna or whatnot, unless they add in Tingle, like
right, yeah,
Tingle or Impa. But like all the other main characters are there.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. At this point, after playing all the Breath of the Wild that I've played, I don't care if you want to call him main character or not. You got some good ass characters that you can add to this game. Like, I'm telling you, Urbosa in Smash would be fucking dope. Eliminate one of those. Eliminate a sword-wielding Fire Emblem character and replace it with a sword-wielding badass from Legend of Zelda. Like, same thing. Just reskin Roy and make it Urbosa. Like, that's all it takes. I'd play the shit out of that. But yeah, no, Urbosa would be fucking dope. I mean, sword, shield, lightning attacks, and being a giant olive skin goddess. All good things in my book. So yeah, look into that, or add in Prince Sidon or any of the numerous characters from Breath of the Wild. I could go on and on about that. But yeah, and I also was reading, this one might be an easy trivia. This game is the first playable appearance of 3 characters. First ever playable appearance of which 3 characters. I'll give you a bonus point if you can get them.
Dog from Duck Hunt.
Johnny gets a bonus point.
Pretty sure it's the first time you could play as Rob.
No, you could play as him in Brawl.
Ah.
And Mario Kart DS.
Dang.
Dark Pit.
I don't know if that counts. That wasn't on the trivia that I read.
Oh wait, no, I take that back. There's a chapter in Uprising where you do play as him.
Cool. Jesse?
Wii Fit Trainer.
Bingo.
Okay, this is gonna drive me nuts. I mean, I guess technically in America, Corrin?
Technically, yeah, but
because Fates wasn't released.
Yeah, but the game came out. It came out after Smash, and then the Corrin DLC came out after it in Japan. So no, the other one that you moved right past, David, is Palutena.
Oh shit! Yeah.
And Palutena is like my 4th or 5th character in the game. I love Palutena. She's cool. Love that big sky beam hitting people with the reflect. And the dancing taunt. She's a goddess or whatever she is, but she'll still just like twirl on that staff and laugh at you. It's like, yeah, she's all right. She's good with me.
She's a goddess. Like, no, she most definitely is.
Yeah, doing her thing, doing a little pole dance. But yeah, it's a dope ass game, and it's a good framework for the series going forward. Seriously, if every Smash Brothers game was just like an iteration of this one, with, a few new characters, strike a couple of the less essential characters, never include Waluigi. It'd be a great fucking series. Like, it'd be good to go forever. But yeah, and I wish that I had gotten this game when I had like video game playing roommates, because it would have been a lot different. I busted this out at like several different things. We played some 8-player Smash at David's bachelor party. I played some like 5-player Smash a couple of weeks ago with some friends, but like really, it's been so few and far between the times that I could get a group of guys to get together, sit on the couch, and sit down and play this game. But every time you do, it's just so fucking choice, man. It's so fucking fun. Like,
Good.
I bet you could like hire a bunch of like homeless people to like hang out with you for like an hour and play Smash Bros.
That's a good idea. Every time I go to Goodwill to check and see if they have new GameCube controllers, just pick up a couple of the guys that are working behind the store. They might be homeless guys. They might be tax credit hires for Goodwill. They'd love to come over and play some Smash, I'm sure. That'd be a good idea.
And you'd be helping the community.
Yes, the Smash community, the FGC, the Tallahassee Smash League. It's like, there's a lot more homeless guys since that Harrington guy started showing up to the tournaments. Yeah,
that's what you do. You get them like all real good at it, and then you start introducing them to the MLG people, and they're like, who are these people?
MLG homeless Smash players. Fuck yeah. Start rolling into these Smash tournaments with the John Taraj of game controllers.
No, it could be like
taking this town by storm.
Yeah, you're teaching them like a job skill.
One
like
burning trash can at a time.
They when they're
How is it I've gotten this far in life without ever having used the phrase John Taraj? I'm disappointed in myself, quite frankly. Anyway, Smash for Wii U. It's fucking excellent. And Johnny, what do you think, man? Is it time for the calculating computer?
I think it is.
Calculating computer activated. Beeps.
As John's trivia said, a diddling scandal.
Beeps. Scoring complete. This game's winner is Jesse Moore.
I did terrible. Hey, awesome.
Oh, you did great, man. Yeah, you tied with David.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so it would have been so funny if somehow we ended up in a 4-way tie again.
Oh God.
We just never have a theme ever again. But that's not the case. Jesse's the winner tonight, so great job, man. What do you got in mind for next week?
How about games featuring playable women?
Hey now.
Okay.
Yeah. We've done that before and I'm into it. It's it's always nice to revisit a theme like that. And last time we did it, it was good. It always gives us an excuse to play more Metroid. And yeah, that is something I'm always in favor of. See, that's my deep well of playable women knowledge. Spoilers for next week when I pick a Metroid game. And great theme, man. I love it. So yeah, back again with Ladies' Night next week. And let's just bring this bitch home. Thanks to everybody who was watching live along with us tonight. We're live every Wednesday at 9. Twitch.tv/GameThatTune, Facebook.com/GameThatTune, YouTube.com/GameThatTune. Thanks for all the chatter in the chat box. We always appreciate interacting with you guys and, just having a blast. Tune into RCTI, Indonesia. We're broadcasting live on Indonesian National Broadcasting Company. It's, we're going big. Crap, I'm losing the thread. What do I normally say at the end of the episodes?
Have you done the Patreon people yet?
Not done the Patreon people yet. So, after the live viewers, I thank the podcast listeners. So, thanks to everybody that's listening in podcast form. We're available in your podcast device Wednesday mornings. So check iTunes or GameThatTune.com. We put a little bit of extra work into that podcast and just make it sound extra nice for you. And if you don't want to check those places, you should check Patreon.com/GameThatTune. It's the home for fun exclusives, we publish some stuff early sometimes. Sometimes I'm just like an editing fiend, and the patrons get it fast. You get the express mix of certain episodes, which is where I just cut out all our talking and leave in the trivia and the tunes. So you just get to, listen to the tunes play, and then you don't have to hear me fucking talk like this. It's a pretty quick way to catch up on Game That Tune. And, if you throw us a couple of bucks a month, you get access to that stuff. If you throw us more than a couple of bucks a month, you get a special shout out like this. Thanks to our Patreon super fan tier producers, Alex Messenger and Lance Revere. You guys are dope, and we appreciate everything you do for the show. And thank you to our requester tonight, Dell. He always requests great things, and we have to give him priority because of how much Patreon money he gives us. So if you want to make a request like him, you can become a patron. Or if you just want to make a request, you can email us, gamethattune@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter @gamethattune. Slide into those DMs, and somebody will pick up your request. And then just hit us all up individually on Twitter. We love interacting with you guys, sharing video game stories and just goofing off. You can find me at jgangsta187. You can find David Fleming on Twitter at
DFD Fleming.
You can find John Regan on Twitter at
JP Regan Jr.
Hell yeah, and you can find Jesse Moore, this week's winner, on Twitter at
Sega_legend.
Hell yeah, brother. So you got the bonus tunes. What are you taking us home with tonight?
It's the victory theme from Final Fantasy, but it's done up a Brentalfloss style, and it's one of my favorite Brentalfloss songs. It's pretty good.
Hell yeah. So Jesse's Glorious Victory is taking us home. Peace out, everybody.
I hit play, but
You just got boned, FTW. Now you're dead, cause we killed you. We took you by surprise. Boo! We just saw you roaming the forest and said, let's kill those guys. Good idea. You're a squirrel who somehow has money and sometimes swords and shields. I don't care if you're a cute bunny, I'll kick your ass for reals. Let's all dance right next to your corpses. We're happy that you're dead. Woohoo! Now we might play chess on your carcass or soccer with your head. La la la, you're dead. La 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 la, we killed you. La la la. No remorse. La 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 la. Yeah!
Oh, that ended faster than I expected. I didn't have time to get all my copyrights together. Crap.
That's what she said.
Yeah. That's what she said my entire fucking life. Crap. What am I missing here? Actually, John, what was your game?
My game was Bad Dudes.
Bad Dudes.
Right. Very important that we properly cite Bad Dudes.
You seem so upset about that.
I just usually remember to do this stuff throughout the show. Bad Dudes is copyright 1989 Data East. Plock or whatever this game is called is copyright 1993 John Pickford and Steve Pickford and Software Creations. Box Boy is copyright 2015 Nintendo of America and HAL Laboratory Incorporated. Final Fantasy is copyright 1987 Square Company Limited. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U is copyright 2014 Nintendo of America Incorporated.